What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to your daily dose of Star Wars. For some reason, people are still debating Rey's lineage, who she is, where she comes from, and why she is so powerful. And the reason for that is in The Force Awakens, they didn't come right out and tell us. They didn't go, hey, Rey is a Skywalker, or Rey is related to Obi-Wan, or Rey was the abandoned daughter of Han Solo and Leia. They left it somewhat open-ended, which is why, nearly 2 years after the movie came out, we still can't all agree on something. My goal, hopefully, in this video, is to convince you that Rey is a Skywalker, and after I do that, to convince you of her purpose in the galaxy, which is really all not that complicated. So with all of that being said, let's get into it. What do we know about Rey? We know that she was able to take down Kylo with the Skywalker lightsaber that called to her, which means she's pretty strong with the Force. We also know that Kylo most likely knows who Rey is, because when he found out that BB-8 escaped from Jakku with a girl, Kylo reels that guy in with the Force pull and asks, "What girl?" There are all these things that happen in the movie, a Star Wars episode film. Rey is the main character of this new trilogy, with a little room to argue if you want to, but in my mind, Rey is the main character. Take a look at the original trilogy. Luke Skywalker is the main character, and Darth Vader is his villain. Rey is the main character in this new trilogy, and Kylo Ren is her villain. One thing that drives me absolutely crazy is when people say Rey isn't a Skywalker because we already have a Skywalker in this trilogy, in Kylo. Did we have only one Skywalker in the original trilogy? No, we did not. Yes, Kylo is technically a Skywalker by blood, but his name was Ben Solo, not Ben Skywalker. Leia went by Organa. She didn't even go by Skywalker, but she is still technically a Skywalker. In the original trilogy, Luke is the Skywalker, but no one is saying that Darth Vader isn't really a Skywalker after the reveal because he's Darth Vader. He's technically Anakin Skywalker. We already had Luke as a Skywalker. So we have two there, plus Leia, which is already 3 Skywalkers. That drives me absolutely insane because these episode films are always about the Skywalker family. They aren't about a random Force being. If that was the case, Rey's story would take place in an anthology film where it doesn't follow the Skywalkers around. But she appears in the episode films, which are, again, about the Skywalker family. Go to StarWars.com and go to the films page and you will see The Last Jedi's description is, and I quote, "the next chapter in the Skywalker saga." The Skywalker saga. If Rey isn't a Skywalker or related to a Skywalker in some way, shape, or form, the description would read something more along the lines of, "the next chapter in the adventures of Rey, Poe, and Finn and our heroes from the original trilogy." It does not read that. It reads the Skywalker saga. These films are about the Skywalkers. Kathleen Kennedy, like her or not, respect her or not, is the head of Lucasfilm, and she calls a lot of the shots, and she has said that the episode films will always be about the Skywalker family. And she meant that. You know why she meant that? We know she meant that because she released Rogue One and called it Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Not Rogue One, episode 3.5, 3.5. Rogue One isn't about the Skywalkers. It's about a group of characters who have nothing to do with a Skywalker. If Rey had nothing to do with the Skywalkers, she would not be as strong of a character in this new trilogy. If she wasn't related in some way, shape, or form to one, she would not be this big of a character, and she would be in an anthology film instead. The lightsaber wouldn't have called to her. The Force would not be so strong with her. A lot of people make the argument she could just be strong with the Force, or Kylo could just suck at fighting. And from what we know about Kylo, that isn't true. It could be true that Rey could just be strong with the Force, but if that's all it was, she wouldn't be this big of a character in the episode film. Simple as that. Episode film. Skywalkers. Always. That's how it's going to be. Kylo Ren even says, "It is you," during their battle to Rey. That line was cut from the movie, but it is still present in other forms of the film, such as the junior novelization of the movie and the Lego game. Here's what drives me crazy about this. The argument against this is, oh, he just couldn't see Rey because it was dark, and once he saw her, he was like, oh yeah, I know her. No. That alone could be the case, but when you pair it with Kylo force pulling that guy towards the beginning of the movie and going, "What girl?" there is no way you can say he doesn't know who she is. That's two coincidences, and once they stack up, it becomes evidence. There's no way you can say those are coincidences. Star Wars doesn't do coincidence. Even the fact that Padme has one bun, Leia has two, and Rey has three, there's no way that that could have just casually happened. They think these films out through and through, detail. Even the visual similarities can't just be considered a coincidence because there are so many of them that at a certain point you have to admit that it becomes evidence. And that's where we are now. Take a look at Han and Kylo. They are related and they look like it. We aren't just saying that that's a coincidence because it's not, and neither are the similarities to Rey being a Skywalker. We're not calling the similarities between Han and Kylo a coincidence because it was told to us that they are related. I have another video on why Rey is a Skywalker if you're looking to see more similarities, and I'll leave a card up on the screen now, link in the description, and one at the end of this video for you to check that out. But now that we've taken care of that, the logic of that, let's talk about what Rey's purpose in the galaxy is. Why is she in the galaxy? Why is she in the film? Why is she here? What is her purpose? Again, since these films are about the Skywalkers, Rey is here to help Luke bring balance to the Force, as seems to be the issue in every Star Wars trilogy. Luke says it's time for the Jedi to end, and what he means by that is the traditional Jedi that we know from the prequel trilogy, the more politician-like Jedi. The Jedi have the Book of Wills, which I also have a video on, and these are essentially the teachings and rules a Jedi is supposed to live and abide by. Luke has found out that over the years these teachings have been misinterpreted and have just continued to evolve to the point where they are nowhere near to what they were intended and supposed to be. And Rey's purpose in all of this is to help restore this balance and to bring these teachings back, to resurrect them and make them what they were supposed to be all along. It's a pretty simple principle, really. It's not this grand scheme, this grand plan that's so complicated to explain. The Force needs to be balanced, and Rey is going to help Luke accomplish that. That is her purpose. However, before she can accomplish that, she needs to bring Luke back to the galaxy. Another important thing you have to keep in mind is that this trilogy is part of a relay race, where they hand off the baton to the next runner. Rey is the next runner in this race, along with Poe and Finn. We had Han, Leia, and Luke run a leg, and now we have Rey, Poe, and Finn running this next leg. This is the next group of people who are going to keep this franchise going, no longer talking about the movies, talking about the franchise as a whole with these episode films. They aren't going to stop making Star Wars movies because we love them and we will continue to pay our hard-earned money to go see them. For this reason alone, they need to hand off the baton to a new set of characters, and again, since the episode films are always about the Skywalkers, they need a couple of these characters to be related and to be Skywalkers and to have that blood in them. We have Kylo and Rey in this trilogy. In the original trilogy, we had Luke and Leia. Now, you can make the argument that, yeah, we have Luke, we have Leia in this new trilogy too, so if you're saying that, then that wouldn't mean we already have four. But you gotta remember, they're not going to be in the next movies, which probably take place 10, 15, 20 years down the road. And if they are, it's not going to be this huge involved part. Rey is going to be embarking on the same type of mission that Luke was on to help rid the galaxy of evil and to restore balance to the Force. What you also have to keep in mind is, as of now, we have the dark side of the Force. So bringing balance back, we need the light side of the Force. But with Luke being a shut-in from the rest of the galaxy, we have no light side of the Force. And Lor San Tekka told us that we need both sides to have balance in the Force. And Rey's purpose, as of now, is to help restore that balance and to bring Luke back to the world so she can fulfill her purpose in the galaxy. In another 10 years, when they do another trilogy, I'm sure she will serve an entirely new purpose that isn't bringing balance back to the galaxy. I'm sure it will be something like that, but as of now, that's not what it is. She will serve a purpose, and that right now, again, is to help find Luke, bring him back to the world, and help restore balance to the Force. So that wraps things up for me here in this video. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one, as it does help out the channel a lot. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, keep loving Star Wars. Peace.